Well, look at that. If it isn't Nayu's little hero, who'd have thought we'd meet again? In Elsweyr, of all places. You wouldn't happen to be traveling to the town of Hakershay, would you? I'm investigating a rumor about the town's leader, Magnate Faina Darhak. Word has it that she's a descendant of the Akaviri potentate. A rather curious rumor, given that the potentate's bloodline should have been wiped out over a century ago. It's a personal matter pertaining to my grandfather's legacy. Painful as it is to say, my family's reputation depends on proving this rumor false. You wouldn't happen to be looking for work, would you? I could use a lending hand. Why don't you begin by speaking to the lady in question? The magnate should be in the town square. Strike up a conversation and see what she reveals. In the meantime, I'll begin my own investigation. See what I can dig up. Hakershay was built after the fall of the Akaviri potentate. It's been, let's see now, a little over 100 years now? Yes, right around that. The town was founded by the Akaviri refugees who fled during that time. The Akaviri come from the land of Akavir, a continent east of Tamriel. They first invaded Tamriel in the First Era, but were ultimately convinced to join the Empire. Hakershay is populated by their descendants. Yes, the Akaviri took the fall of the potentate as a rather obvious sign that they were no longer welcomed in Cyrodiil. Many of them fled to Elsweyr. Hakershay is but one of the settlements that was founded. I suppose that's a matter of perspective. After all, generations of imperial marriages have considerably thinned the bloodline. Still, Hakershay does strive to maintain Akaviri culture and customs, starting with the town's rather distinct name. Potentate Vesidou Shay began his political career as advisor to Emperor Riemann III. When the Emperor was assassinated, the potentate stepped up as Cyrodiil's leader. Very fortunate for Vesidou Shay, of course. He was Emperor in all but name. So goes the rumors, though nothing was ever proven. Unsurprisingly, an Akaviri on the Ruby Throne created conflict. The potentate was eventually assassinated himself. A few decades later, his heir was similarly slain. The Morag Tong, of course. Who else would be so competent? Following the death of potentate Severian Chorak and his heirs, a large number of Akaviri and their followers left Cyrodiil. Many wound up here, in Elsweyr. As an agent of the Morag Tong, my grandfather had the honor of executing the last remaining heir of the Akaviri potentate. But here's the tricky bit. My grandfather and the heir both disappeared during the attempt. The Morag Tong presumed them dead. If Magnate Faina Darhak truly is the descendant of the potentate, it proves without a shadow of a doubt that my grandfather failed. And such failure would be a grave dishonor to my family name. That's why I'm keen to prove this rumor false. Well, I would just love to give you all the torrid details of my last few writs. I'm afraid that secrecy comes with the job description. Suffice it to say, I've kept myself busy. Decided to come for a bit of sightseeing. After all, I heard Hakershay is lovely this time of year. Perhaps. After all, the Morag Tong does like to keep me busy. But right now, what I need to do is gather information. Prove yourself useful, and I may be willing to share some further details. Oh, you know her. Probably up to the usual. A little wine, a little murder. Honestly, I generally find it in my best interest to not know exact details, especially after all that trouble we went through in Balmora. Decided to come for a bit of sightseeing. After all, I heard Hakershay is lovely this time of year.
it back, Rakasha! I won't let you have this one.
Ha! Your blood is too thin. Keep that one as a gift, Yushiha, for when you're ready to drink.
This one never trusted Ambassador Tarimwe. At least we'll have an embassy in Eldenroot.
Sheath your claws, Walker. This one does not want a fight, but you've walked into a dangerous feud. You should leave the Weeping Scar. Yushiha cannot protect everyone from her former kin. I am an exile of the Tenar Zalvit vampire clan. This wasteland has long been our home. Unforgiving, but we survived in peaceful seclusion through the wisdom of our clan mother. She is gone now, and my clan strays down a treacherous path without her. My blood brother, Rakasha, tempts my clan to give in to their thirst. He urges them to abandon our way of life and prey on the caravanners without restraint or mercy. I must divert them from this path, but I am losing the fight. Yushiha is grateful. This caravaner she saved was not alone. Help her check on their camps, warn them, protect them if necessary. We must save them from my clan before we can save my clan from themselves. She only hopes it is not too late. He leads the Tenar Zalvit. After our clan mother's death, he promised our blood brothers and sisters a better life. Swayed them to embrace our predatory nature. He played on their fears and drove out his dissenters. Yushiha is the only one who still remains. Once Rakasha's followers tasted the blood of our living cousins, those who resisted were easily driven out. He is right about one thing. Living on thin-blooded animals indeed made us weak. He blames our pacifist ways for all our troubles, and has renounced them. Rakasha believes embracing our nature as vampires is the only way to protect us from harm, but all he'll do is make enemies and draw them to us. I believe our clan mother's wisdom was the only thing that has kept us alive this long. She knew that turning on our living kin was short-sighted. If Rakasha has his way, I am certain it will lead to our destruction. Before the flu, we only drank blood that was offered to us. But after it wiped out Orcrest, we have had to make do with feeding on animals. This is not a lush land. It was a lean life, but it was peaceful. That was very long ago. Nearly at the edge of memory, Walker. Back when the 16 kingdoms of Khajiit became 2, my family was taken by the Thracian plague, and I brought them to Tenar Zalvit to find rest. I offered the clan mother everything. The world outside seemed as if it was about to end. I had nothing, no purpose, no future. The clan gave me all 3. The lifetimes I have spent watching over the departed have been far less troubled than those of my living kin, until now. A cabal of necromancers raided our home. The burial site our clan watched over for centuries. She defied their leader, and was destroyed. The rest of us could only stand by helplessly as they desecrated the dead. We lost everything that night. Our clan served as the caretakers of the Tenar Zalvit ossuary, when there was anyone left to seek burial. Khajiit made offerings of blood for us to watch over their dead. We coexisted like that for hundreds of years, until tragedy struck. Our troubles began with the Nahatan flu. It swept through Orcrest like a flood, leaving death in its wake. The tide of dead rolled in until our vaults were full, and those who survived begged us to spare them. We took pity and agreed. Our clan grew from a small handful to a settlement in itself, In an instant, we lost our main source of food and gained many more mouths to feed. We hoped to leave, but our clan mother feared we would carry the flu with us and sequestered the clan. He blames our pacifist ways for all our troubles and has renounced them. Rakasha believes embracing our nature as vampires is the only way to protect us from harm, but all he'll do is make enemies and draw them to us.
Few are as skilled as the carpenters of Corinth. One could say they've carved out a reputation for themselves. No, Rachin is not pleased with that one.
So, a tiger walks among the cattle. You were with Yushiha, yes? Did my blood sister beg you to hunt me, Walker? Has she grown too weak to do it herself? My clan, Walker. And she has no place in it until she drinks as she was meant to. She can live like vermin if she chooses, but my clan will never return to that life. Everything. Our lives were spent hiding away in tombs, gnawing on rats to keep the hunger at bay. Day after day, year after year, with no end in sight. All to keep us safe, but that was a lie. It only made us easy pickings. There are predators and there are prey. Our clan mother chose to live like prey, and she died like prey. But we are vampires. We thrive on the hunt. If she had embraced our true nature, she'd still be alive today. Which will you be, Walker?
Do not listen to his sweet talk.
Your claws are dull as always, Yoshiha. Remember what I said, Walker.
Rakasha toys with us. He is drunk with power. What of the caravans? I have found no one alive. Rakasha is not so foolish as to needlessly slaughter his prey. Our clan must be herding the caravanners into the Tenar Zalvit ossuary like cattle. At least most of them should still be alive. We must free them. You will, Walker. I lack the strength to fight them. I will keep to the shadows and help you how I can. I'd like to believe my clan can be redeemed, but if they have to pay for the blood in their veins with their lives, so be it. The Tenar Zalvit ossuary is deeper within the chasm, to the east. I will meet you inside. First, I must slake my thirst as best as I can. I'll need all the strength I can muster. It has been the Tenar Zalvit's clan home for centuries. A humble place of rest for Khajiit to begin their journey to the sands behind the stars. After the flu came, it became a sprawling boneyard. You will find my clan in great numbers there. Paradise, Walker. Where Khajiit who followed the true path of the moons lounge in the gentle warmth of the sun on dunes of purest sugar. A place I will never see. I am sworn to keep an eternal vigil, even if I am the last of my clan who remembers our duty to the dead. And if I should die, I am out of Canarthi's reach. Only the cruel embrace of Molag Bal awaits for the likes of me. Our clan served as the caretakers of the Tenar Zalvit ossuary when there...
These caravans are too fleet-footed. They should make for raiding.
down.
They took us. The key across the bridge. Please, find it and free us.
Good work, Walker. Keep searching, and put that key to good use. I'll catch up after I've led this one to safety.
No, please. A taste of swill and skooma, I swear! Watch out! There's more! More of them! Don't get eaten! Merciful moons! I think that's the last of them.
Close call. Don't worry. This one will be safe with me. Khajiit treated no better than animals. Shameful. You go on. I'll watch over them. Rakaja! I warned you retribution would come to you if you hunted Khajiit's prey. Step down, and our clan might yet be redeemed. Rakaja! Rakaja! There's no going back for him. Neither Rakaja nor the Tenar Zalvit clan. Their only care now is the taste of the blood on their tongues. There's only one way this ends now. With Rakaja buried in this tomb, killing him won't bring my clan back. But making an example of him may teach the Tenar Zalvit to feed with more restraint. I don't believe Rakaja will give you any other choice. It's a lot to ask of you, but the lives we've saved will be a small fraction of those lost if he is not deposed. You are five-clawed, Walker. Now's the time.
I look forward to tasting hearty blood. I die with my pride.
Rakaja, you damned fool. Come, we should get back to the caravan survivors. This way.
I'm staying far away from the Weeping Scar. I'd sooner risk Euraxia's dungeons than be made a meal of.
You did what I could not, Walker. Rakaja is gone, and his misguided beliefs along with him. I only wish the lesson hadn't come at so great a price. These caravanners will spread the word of my clan. Others will come to hunt them down. What's left of the Tenar Zalvit will either recall our clan mother's wisdom to flee and survive, or suffer Rakaja's fate. This is the end of us, Walker. You've seen what remains of my clan. They carry my bloodline, but they are no longer my kin. There may come a time when the Tenar Zalvit can return to what they once were, when our name and clan home are far from memory. There's nothing left for me here. We couldn't save my clan from doom, but I am grateful for all you've done, as are the caravanners. They've scrounged this up as thanks. Soon, the Weeping Scar's tears will have run dry, much like my own. Neither the dead nor I will have rest, while the one responsible for this still lives. I will hunt down the orc who desecrated our home and brought ruin to my clan. I know the scent of death all too well. His necromancers will not be so hard to find. Yushiha only knows that the orc has many followers at his command, and now an army of the undead. He is cruel and merciless. Whatever his reasons for raiding our ossuary, Yushiha promises you they are no good. And you as well, Walker. I hope we cross paths again, under better circumstances.
This one will consider his next meal carefully. Something with leaves, he thinks.
The wagons can rot. This one makes for the stitches at the first opportunity.
We lost more than half our number. It will take a while for the caravan to recover. Smuggling supplies and correspondence out from under the Dung Queen's cankerous nose. This is not the route we normally take, but we feared Eurexia's agents were in pursuit this time. We expected the journey to be difficult, but never this. The vampires took our beasts of burden, and more than half our number. Khajiit have no choice but to leave the wagons behind. We'll take what we can carry and continue on to the Stitches. If the Loyalists want the rest, they can send soldiers. Yushiha offered to guide us there safely. It's odd to put our trust in a vampire, especially now. Odder still to owe her our lives, yes? Khajiit regret that we had so little left to offer you both as thanks.
Nobody cares at all.
Asura, is this truly the path you set me on? A fellow wanderer on the path. Greetings, I'm Vastari. If you plan to explore the Ashen Scar, I'd advise caution. Some dark intention has this canyon in a vice grip. An inopportune time for a visit. Then again, perhaps we're meant to be here. An undead awakening. As intense as it is unstable. The corpses emerge in fits and starts for now. But I can sense more stirring below, hundreds more. If left unchecked, these creatures may spill out into larger Elsweyr, perhaps even lands beyond. Yes, maybe you can. I find myself having difficulty focusing. If the force that reanimates these corpses exerts pressure on the mind as well, that would be profoundly unsettling. I intend to search these ruins for answers. Will you join me? I'm glad to have your company. As I said, something about this place puts me ill at ease. Now, are you ready to proceed? We did indeed. I recognized you, of course, but I find that reunions can get a bit awkward if one party doesn't recall the other. I'm glad I made an impression. You certainly did. I'd still be bumbling around Cold Harbor if not for you and Azura. The very same. I find that title rather coarse, but ultimately, titles tell more about the speaker than they do about the subject. Wouldn't you agree? In these lands, she's called Azura, Queen of the Night Sky and Mother to all Khajiit. Love. With Azura, everything begins with love. A love that is fierce, possessive, even cruel, but always true and impossibly deep. I mean no offense, but worshipping dead gods always struck me as a fantastically dull and unfulfilling tradition. Yes, though not as fervently as they used to. A prophet named Ridthari-Data revealed the secrets of the Riddlethar to the Khajiit some years back, essentially creating a child's religion that sanded down the sharper edges of Khajiiti theology. I always hate to see a rich tradition usurped by a flimsy one, but ultimately it's the Khajiit's choice. What matters is that Azura loves them, and what my lady loves she always reclaims, eventually. It's the site of an ancient Khajiiti temple to Azura, the Temple of the Hidden Moon. I conducted some research on the temple before I set out from Grotwood, but didn't find much. Something happened here that the Khajiit aren't keen to dredge up. Undoubtedly, what little scholarship I did find referred to a sprawling nest of catacombs beneath the temple, filled with Khajiiti dead. The Adepts of the Hidden Moon watched over them, I think. Beyond that, there's nothing. That's the hope, yes. Azura's influence runs deep here, deeper even than whatever malevolent force stirred up the undead. She'll guide us to the answers. Of that, I have no doubt. Excellent. Let's be on our way, then. The Hidden Moon Temple stands at the very center of the Ashen Scar. The adepts who lived there vanished centuries ago, but the air still crackles with arcane energy, necromantic energy. Forgive me, I didn't expect to face such resistance. Yes, and no. It felt as though I was struck blind and deaf, save for the sound of a beating heart. I think something tried to drive me back, then relented and tried to claim me instead. Oh, there's an intention to it, a greed and a hunger. You seem unaffected. Good. I can't go any farther, not until I understand the nature of this event. Take these descrying stones and place them throughout the canyon. They'll allow me to perceive this threat from a distance. The 3 stones act in concert, so be sure to place them in a broad pattern that encompasses the whole area. Now, you should set out. The sooner you place the descrying stones, the sooner I can locate the source of this evil. No, not at all. Truth be told, necromancy is my primary area of expertise. The study of souls, to be more specific. I trust that won't be a problem. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, though I wouldn't blame you if you did. We haven't exactly covered ourselves in glory in recent times. I hope you'll trust me when I say my intentions aren't evil. Not explicitly so, anyway. An experiment of mine. Expended soul gems reinfused with the smallest trace of my own spiritual essence. They allow me to perceive the world as lingering spirits do, making the invisible flow of animus and magicka visible. Well, for one thing, they'll allow me to conduct my search from far away. No small thing, given what just occurred. Once I see the flow of magicka in this place, I should be able to trace the corrupt energies back to their source. Perhaps. I hope so. At the very least, it will give us a fuller sense of what we're dealing with here. Good. I sense, yes, some kind of wards infused into the architecture, though weakened by the march of time. Someone tried to prevent this. The corruption here is just suffocating, like a dark fog rising from below, bidding the dead to serve.
Old spirits linger here, Walker, but Noctra protects those who stay in the shadows. Come, browse.
Excellent. My sight grows clearer. I see a maze of catacombs below. Undead rise there too. And something else. There's a concentration of dark energy in the exposed tomb at the center of the scar. Meet me there. The orb! Destroy it! Quickly!
Your pathetic magics are useless here, Witch of Azura. Flee while you can. The hour of my return has come.
Thank you for acting quickly, friend. The situation appears much worse than I thought. The being you just encountered, it was the shade of a dark lich, an undead Khajiit possessing unimaginable power. You just shattered one of his phylacteries. A focus, like an arcane vessel or container. Think of the stones I gave you earlier. Those contain a sliver of my essence, but nothing of what makes me who I am. Phylacteries contain much larger fragments of the soul, powerful but dangerous tools. You destroyed one, yes, and the shade simply taunted us. There must be others. If we're to have any hope of stopping this lich, we'll have to find and destroy all of them. A daunting prospect. They're probably well hidden. I admire your optimism, unfounded though it may be. Did you notice the body near the orb? He met his end recently. I intend to find out what he knows. Place this stone in the center of the room. It should ease the summoning process. No, nothing so complicated. I mean only to open the door for his spirit to speak to us. An invitation to converse. Nothing more. He may appear, he may not. But I think he'll want us to know what he learned, for vengeance sake, if nothing else. That's within my power, yes. But I never coerce mortal souls. That path leads to avarice and horror. No, thank you. Azura teaches that a thing is only valuable if it's given freely. Truth extracted like a rotten tooth is just an accurate lie. It will amplify my senses, just like before. Finding one soul among millions is no small feat. Summoning rituals require extreme precision, friend. Darker things than mortal souls wait for summons too. In necromancy, even small mistakes are fatal. It will take all my concentration to maintain the ritual, so the questioning falls to you. I ask only that you proceed quickly. As I said before, an open door to Spirit Realm can draw unwelcome attention, so be concise, all right? Stand back. Mithralas zelanthenal gueridanere.
Where am... You must listen!
Speak with him, quickly.
We do not have much time. This one feels his spirit slipping away. The Dark Lich, Arum Kal, has awakened. He rises like foul smoke from beneath the ashen scar. Arum Kal, the ancient defiler, the Dark Adept, destroyer of the hidden moon. If he regains his full power, death and horror will scour all the sands of Elsweyr. The orb, I tried to claim it for myself. It sent me to a realm of nightmares, where Arum Kal's spirit reigns as king. He tore my soul to pieces, then used the remnants to awaken his body, and everything else in this cursed place. He... No more.
Release me, please!
Azura have mercy on him. I'd say he learned his lesson. Well done. I had hoped to glean a bit more, but that name is enough. Arumkal the Dromathra. Arumkal the Moonslayer. Mages whisper his name as they do that of the Worm King Manimako. Oh, I thought him long gone. Seems I was wrong. Whatever wards the disciples of this temple put in place to keep Arumkal bound are failing, and it's unlikely we'll find the means to mend them. We'll have to deal with this threat head-on. For that, I need your help. The Khajiiti spirit called Arumkal the Dark Adept and the Ancient Defiler. Could Arumkal's fate and the fate of the Hidden Moon Adepts be intertwined? The former residents of the Hidden Moon Temple. They vanished centuries ago, but the ruins of their sanctuary remain. If they managed to seal a lich like Arumkal away, they clearly possess skills and techniques we can use. Yes, probably. Memories run deep in places like this, and where there are memories, there are spirits. Helpful ones, I hope. With any luck, one of them will answer our questions. Now, it's a long climb to the temple summit. Are you prepared? I'm going to take a moment to make sure we didn't miss anything here. I'll meet you at the temple summit soon, unless you needed something. Well, for starters, he's more than just a lich. He is also a Dromathra. Yes, sticks in the throat a bit, doesn't it? Dromathra means something like dark spirit in the Khajiiti tongue, but I think that definition falls woefully short of describing them accurately. Something unique. Some mages believe they're Daedra who serve the Dark Prince Namira. Others contend that the Dromathra are just mortal Khajiiti souls held in her thrall. Neither definition sounds right to me. There are things about Khajiiti souls that even I, a master of soul conjuring, don't understand. For instance, only Khajiit can become Dromathra. This indicates there's some hidden capacity or dreadful flaw unique to the race. A duality. Yes, a tension between two opposing natures. A choice of some kind that no other race has to make. It's a fascinating puzzle. If we survive this, and that is a significant if, I intend to give it my undivided attention. I know little more than what I've already told you. I can guess its age from the state of the masonry and the religious motifs, I suppose. Early First Era, perhaps. The Hidden Moon Adepts venerated Azura above other deities. That much is clear. Well, modern Khajiiti teachings claim a third moon appears in the sky to usher in the birth of a new Main, the spiritual leader of the Khajiit. Perhaps there was a time when it meant something else. That would make sense. My lady carries a single moon in her right hand, and legends speak of her parting the Tamrielic moons, Massa and Secunda, with a whisper. Stands to reason that she might hold dominion over this third hidden moon too. Lichdom is a state of being, the most sophisticated form of undeath. While lesser necromancers busy themselves with other people's souls, liches turn inward, manipulating their own soul to gain power and extend their life. This is just academic curiosity, right? Because I can't overstate the risks. To become a lich, the necromancer must press their soul through an arcane vessel called a phylactery. This requires a lifetime of study, mind you, and fierce power of will. Souls contain tremendous power, but they place certain checks on mortal will. Divesting the two, soul and mortal form, removes these boundaries. The effect is a virtually limitless magical horizon. The process extracts a heavy toll, of course. Traveling through the phylactery can tear a lich's psyche apart, resulting in madness. Long separation from one's soul can lead to apathy and megalomania as well. In almost all cases, lichdom becomes a curse in very short order. A few, We should get back to the task at hand.